The story begins deep in the heart of Texas, within the United States' rapidly expanding biomedical innovation corridor, a place where the boundaries between medicine and technology are dissolving. There, hidden behind sterile laboratory glass and particle-filtered corridors, stands a small but ambitious company, Plus Therapeutics. Its name may sound modest, but its ambitions are anything but. Plus Therapeutics is not a conventional pharmaceutical developer. It is a clinical stage radiotherapeutics company focused on treating some of the most devastating conditions known to modern medicine: glioblastoma and leptomeningeal metastases, diseases so aggressive that survival is often measured in months. In a landscape dominated by pharmaceutical giants and academic consortia, Plus Therapeutics stands almost alone, armed with a technology that many larger players deemed too complex, too risky, and too expensive to pursue. Where most drug makers rely on the bloodstream to carry medicine throughout the body, Plus Therapeutics takes the opposite approach. Its therapy delivers radiation directly inside the tumor itself. The company's flagship candidate, Rhenium-186 Obisbemeda, branded as RESPECT-LM, encapsulates the radioactive isotope rhenium-186 within lipid-based nanoparticles. These microscopic spheres, only a few hundred nanometers wide, are injected precisely into or near the tumor, where they release radiation from within, bombarding cancer cells while sparing healthy tissue. It's an audacious idea to transform the tumor itself into the source of its own destruction. But such precision comes at an enormous price. The drug must be delivered through intrathecal infusion or convection-enhanced delivery, techniques that require specialized neurosurgical access. The process involves inserting a small reservoir, often an Ommaya device, into the patient's brain or spinal canal, through which the radioactive nanodrug slowly diffuses into the cerebrospinal fluid. Every step demands exacting control. Every dose must balance radiation intensity, molecular diffusion, and patient safety. Ordinarily, such a sophisticated, high-risk technology would be the domain of multinational pharmaceutical corporations or federally funded research labs. Yet, Plus Therapeutics, a company with roughly 20 employees, took on this challenge independently. That choice, seemingly impossible for a firm of its size, is the first clue in a much deeper mystery that surrounds its evolution. In August 2025, the company released interim results from its RESPECT-LM clinical trial targeting patients with leptomeningeal metastases, cancer cells that spread to the membranes surrounding the brain and spinal cord. The data was striking. The clinical benefit rate exceeded 75%, meaning that most patients experienced either tumor regression or measurable improvement in neurological function. Even more remarkable, no dose-limiting toxicity was observed, an extremely rare outcome for a radiotherapeutic agent. By conventional standards, these results should have triggered an immediate transition to confirmatory phase 3 trials and regulatory consultation with the FDA. That is how biotech normally works: positive data, investor enthusiasm, and acceleration toward commercialization. But Plus Therapeutics chose a different path. Instead of rushing ahead, the company announced plans to refine its dosing models and explore multi-dose regimens. Why would a small company with such promising data deliberately delay its most valuable opportunity? Was this extreme caution, or was there something in the data that needed to be re-examined before exposure to regulatory scrutiny? The company did not elaborate, and that silence became its second mystery. Parallel to its therapeutic work, Plus Therapeutics quietly built another cornerstone of its business, a diagnostics division called CNSide. Originally developed by Biocept, the technology analyzes cerebrospinal fluid for tumor cells and circulating tumor DNA, offering a real-time window into cancer's behavior within the central nervous system. In September 2023, Plus Therapeutics secured a non-exclusive license to use the technology. Less than a year later, in May 2024, it acquired the entire platform, establishing CNSide Diagnostics in Texas. By September 18, 2025, the new laboratory achieved full CLIA certification, allowing commercial diagnostic testing to begin. Typically, biotech startups at this stage focus exclusively on drug development, outsourcing diagnostics to third-party labs to conserve capital. Yet Plus Therapeutics chose to internalize it. This was no coincidence. By controlling both therapy and diagnostics, the company could create a closed feedback loop. where CNSide data continuously informs dosing decisions for Rhenium-186 Obisbemeda. If perfected, this system could redefine how central nervous system cancers are treated, turning Plus Therapeutics from a drug developer into a decision intelligence company for precision oncology. Then came a financial twist that stunned the market. On June 24, 2025, Plus Therapeutics voluntarily eliminated the authorization to issue up to 1.5 billion additional shares. For most early-stage biotech firms, the ability to issue new stock is the lifeline that fuels research. Dilution is considered a necessary evil, but Plus Therapeutics severed that lifeline itself. To some investors, this was an act of confidence, a signal that management believed its upcoming data would unlock non-dilutive funding sources. To others, it hinted at potential constraints, that raising equity capital might no longer be an option. Whichever interpretation one chooses, this decision marked a radical break from industry norms. Shortly after, the company revealed its new financial foundation, the Cancer Prevention and Research Institute of Texas, CPRIT, awarded Plus Therapeutics $16 million in non-dilutive funding in July 2025, followed by another $1.9 million in September 2025. The total, roughly $17.6 million, would support the continuation of its leptomeningeal metastases program. Receiving government grants of this magnitude, especially without issuing equity, is exceedingly rare for a small-cap biotech. It signaled a level of scientific credibility strong enough to win institutional trust. Still, such grants are milestone dependent. Any delay in clinical progress could slow payments, creating both opportunity and pressure. Meanwhile, on the capital markets front, Plus Therapeutics was fighting a different battle: survival on the NASDAQ. In March 2025, the company regained compliance with the exchange's equity requirements. By August, it met the market value standard as well. However, one challenge remained: maintaining a minimum bid price of $1 per share with a compliance deadline set for November 12, 2025. Most companies in this position perform a reverse stock split to artificially raise their share price. Plus Therapeutics refused. Management declared that the company would regain compliance through performance, not cosmetic manipulation. It was an act of defiance and, perhaps, pride. In the biotech sector, where perception often matters more than data, such a stance is almost unheard of. Piece by piece, the narrative forms a pattern. The ReSPECT-LM therapy delivers targeted radiation, the CNSide platform monitors tumor response, and funding flows from non-dilutive sources rather than equity dilution. These components together form a singular ecosystem, a system where diagnosis and treatment co-evolve, where data and biology feed into each other, and where financial engineering mirrors scientific precision. Yet the greatest question remains unanswered. Can this intricate system survive real-world pressures, regulatory scrutiny, clinical unpredictability, and investor impatience? If Plus Therapeutics succeeds, it won't merely produce a new cancer drug. It will pioneer a new model of integrated medicine, where the line between therapy and information disappears. If it fails, however, the company will join the long list of promising biotechs that burned brightly before vanishing, a reminder that innovation often walks the edge of ruin. The Valuester channel invites all viewers to share their insights, discoveries, and tip-offs about both listed and unlisted companies, as well as pre-IPO stocks and cryptocurrencies, in the comments below. Your perspectives and research might inspire our next deep investigation. And to those who continuously watch, subscribe, like, comment, and share our videos beyond this platform, thank you. Your support drives us to push deeper, think harder, and deliver better stories every time. This was Valuester. The story begins in the heart of Texas, within America's growing hub of biomedical innovation, a landscape where science, data, and ambition converge. Amid that landscape stands a company small in size, but immense in intent: Plus Therapeutics. It may appear unassuming, but its purpose is anything but ordinary. Plus Therapeutics is a clinical-stage radiotherapeutics company determined to tackle the most formidable diseases known to medicine: glioblastoma and leptomeningeal metastases. These are cancers that infiltrate the brain and spinal cord, often leaving patients with only months to live. Where others see impossibility, Plus Therapeutics sees a frontier. The company's strategy breaks with convention. Instead of circulating a drug through the bloodstream, it injects radiation directly into the tumor itself. Its flagship candidate, Rhenium-186 Obisbemeda, ReSPECT-LM, encloses the radioactive isotope Rhenium-186 within lipid-based nanospheres. Once injected through neurosurgical delivery systems like an Ommaya reservoir, the therapy releases radiation precisely where the cancer lives, killing malignant cells from the inside out while sparing nearby tissue. It is not radiation as a weapon from outside the body. It is a beacon ignited from within. This method demands extraordinary precision. Each dose requires millimeter-scale placement and exact calculation of radiation energy. Such technology is typically developed by multinational pharmaceutical corporations or state-funded research institutions. Yet Plus Therapeutics, with a workforce of roughly 20, chose to advance it alone. The decision defies industry logic. How can a company so small take on a mission so vast? That question marks the first chapter of its mystery. In August 2025, the firm released interim data from its ReSPECT-LM clinical trial. The results startled observers: a clinical benefit rate above 75% and no dose-limiting toxicity. The treatment improved neurological function and extended survival in patients who previously had none. In most cases, such data would trigger immediate preparation for Phase 3 confirmatory trials and FDA meetings. Plus Therapeutics did the opposite. It paused to refine dosing schedules and pursue multi-infusion optimization. Why slow down when success seems within reach? Analysts are divided. Some argue that the company is exercising scientific caution. Others suspect that unpublicized complexities in the data demand resolution before regulatory exposure. Either way, the decision deepened the air of intrigue surrounding this small Texas biotech. Meanwhile, the company quietly built a second engine, CNSide, a diagnostic platform capable of detecting and tracking cancer cells through a patient's cerebrospinal fluid. Originating from Biocept, CNSide was first licensed by Plus Therapeutics in September 2023, then fully acquired in May 2024. By September 18, 2025, the firm's new Texas-based CNSide Diagnostics laboratory earned clinical certification, enabling commercial testing. Most startups at this stage outsourced diagnostics to preserve capital, but Plus Therapeutics internalized it. The reasoning was strategic. By owning both treatment and diagnostic feedback, the company could create a closed therapeutic loop, where CNSide's real-time data directly informs how Rhenium-186 Obisbemeda is dosed, adjusted, or continued. If realized, this would transform Plus Therapeutics from a drug developer into a decision intelligence enterprise, blurring the boundary between medicine and data science. Then came the financial revelation. On June 24, 2025, Plus Therapeutics canceled authorization to issue up to 1.5 billion additional shares. For any biotech, that is extraordinary. Most rely on stock issuance to survive. Equity dilution is considered inevitable. But this company severed its own safety line. Some investors saw conviction, a statement of faith in its underlying value. Others feared constraint, that the firm might have lost access to capital markets. Both views persist, and together they shape the ongoing enigma of Plus Therapeutics. Soon after, funding clarity emerged. The Cancer Prevention and Research Institute of Texas, CPRIT, granted $16 million in July 2025, followed by $1.9 million in September, totaling $17.6 million in non-dilutive support. Such awards are rare for a microcap biotech, signaling institutional recognition of genuine scientific merit. Yet CPRIT grants are milestone dependent. Clinical delays could interrupt payments. Thus, every experiment now carries both medical and financial consequence. On the capital markets front, the company waged another fight to remain listed on NASDAQ. In March 2025, it regained compliance with equity standards. By August, it met the market value threshold. Still, the exchange's $1 minimum bid rule loomed with a deadline of November 12, 2025. Most firms resort to a reverse split to boost share price. Plus Therapeutics refused. It pledged to recover organically through results, not optics, a defiant move that, in a market obsessed with perception, was nearly unheard of. Each event connects to the next with remarkable coherence. ReSPECT-LM provides precision therapy, CNSide captures biological feedback, CPRIT ensures funding without dilution. Together, they compose a unified architecture of science, capital, and conviction. Yet one question eclipses them all. Can such an intricate system survive the reality of regulation, cash flow, and human biology? Success would redefine how we treat brain cancers, replacing guesswork with continuous data loops and personalized radiotherapy. Failure would relegate Plus Therapeutics to the long list of biotechs that soared on vision and vanished in execution. The Valuester channel now invites viewers to join this inquiry. If you know of promising or puzzling companies, whether listed, unlisted, or preparing for IPO, or emerging cryptocurrencies drawing investor attention, share them in the comments below. Your insights and discoveries could guide our next deep dive investigation. To everyone who continues to watch, subscribe, like, comment, and share our videos, we offer our sincere thanks. Your engagement drives us to uncover greater truths and deliver even stronger stories ahead. This was Valuester.